All right, here with Tiffany from Acena Consulting again, and another thing that came up recently was statute of limitations. Like some CPAs aren't sure how that works as far as going backwards, and then also going forward as far as carry forward. So, can you share a little wisdom on that front, going backwards and forwards?
Yeah, so a couple of the important parts about that is kind of twofold. One, you want to get in front of people fast enough or soon enough to make sure that you don't lose the benefit altogether forever. So if we're talking about the federal statute of limitations, we only have 3 years from the date of filing to go back and amend for credits if not already claimed. So once that statute of limitations runs, then it's done. On the state level, depending on what state you're operating in, there's different rules there, but a lot of them are similar if they're also taking a credit. Arizona specifically, we can go back 4 years. So once that statute of limitations runs, that's it.
So a quick example. So if you're able to identify 250,000 of credits for this most recent tax year or whatever, you can kind of expand that and overlay it over the previous 3 years in Arizona. There could be potentially $1 million of value there by being able to go backwards that far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you think about it as the two things of managing cash flow, it's either getting cash in or stopping cash from going out in the first place. So when you go back and amend, you're going to get a client basically that waterfall effect. So you're going back, recouping taxes and actually getting a check for all those 3 years of taxes paid up to that R&D tax credit amount.
And then is there any concern? I know some business owners or some CPAs don't like amending tax returns like in general, but assuming you have clean books and all that, is there really any negative to doing an amendment, especially 2, 3, 4 years back?
You know, there's always a higher risk of audit when you go back and amend. So I'm going to put that out there. But in our firm specifically, we have less than a 5% audit rate. And when you think about doing something above board, really what you're doing is going back and claiming something that you should have gotten in the first place. So as far as a risk to amend, as long as the documentation is presented in a way that meets IRS guidelines, you're making sure that you're working with a professional so that those kind of activities are claimed and that the actual qualified research expenses are accurate, then you just defend it in an audit in that event. It's not likely. We always prepare for it.
And then on a go forward basis, talk about that if a business owner can't use that. And then also we talked about potentially if a business owner knows they're going to sell, how they can kind of bank those. But if you can touch on both of those.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's cool. The cool part about this is there's many places that can plug into planning, right? So you want to understand the business owner's entire vision so that you can understand how to find them funds to do the things that they're trying to do. So R&D tax credits going back to amend, you're getting checks. In a proactive manner, you're stopping cash from going out the door in the first place. So if you can get these studies run before you even file your taxes, you're able to offset taxes out the door. And then in the event that you either go back and generate too many credits than what they can actually use, the carry forward on the federal side is 20 years. So in the event that you have a client that's looking to exit or has a plan to exit, they would likely want to bank those R&D tax credits in order to use that in the event of a gain. And so you can offset the gain on sale with the R&D tax credits in that business as well.